What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We're in Warframe. We're going to talk about Ember Prime. I'm going to focus on Ember Prime because she's the one I put the time into, but we're basically going to be, it's the same type of build basically for both frames. So let's just quickly touch base on the 4 abilities and get full details, of course, from the wiki. But we'll just quickly touch on this as it is. So, of course, launches a fiery projectile, if you will. Deals high fire damage on contact and moderate fire damage to any that enter the lingering flames. So there is a radius on this. Strength is going to be initial damage of 400, and the area effect damage is going to have about 150 damage on this. There is no duration, it's just once it hits, it's done. Casting, there appears to be no range. It looks to be pretty much infinite. And blast radius, I'm not 100% sure what the blast radius is. At times it seems bigger than others. This is going to be, all damage is going to be affected by power strength on this. You're going to deal 100% heat damage on impact with a 100% status chance, so you're going to get the knockdown effect with this, as well as a 50% status chance on the area of effect. So the heat damage is inflicted 50% on the initial per tick for heat procs, and damage ticks at 7 times over 7 seconds. Okay, accelerant. Now this one's an odd one. Stun nearby enemies with strong accelerant, increases all fire damage dealt. So the strength mods is going to give you up to 2.5 times on this in terms of damage multiplier. The duration is going to be up to 15 seconds, and the range is going to be around 20 meters at max, without the extra mods, of course. Power strength for damage multiplier, power duration for debuff duration, and power range for the range on this. And this is one of those that if you hit this ability before you use any of the other abilities like Fireball or Fire Blast, World on Fire, anything around you, even your weapons like the Ignis, anything that has fire on it is going to be, that multiplier is going to apply to those weapons as well, within the range, of course. Fire Blast, so slams the ground for high damage in a small radius and creates a persistent ring of fire which deals high damage over time. Strength wise, we're talking about 150 heat damage with 100% status chance to all enemies within the ring, and duration's around 20 seconds. The range can be up to 15 meters on explosion radius wise, and about 4 meters on the inner ring radius. So just keep that in mind. And all damage is going to be affected here by power strength. The ring duration is basically based off of duration, and explosion radius and ring radius are not affected by power range, so it's not really a big deal to have the power range in here. But you will deal heat damage per second when they're on here. Okay, and then World on Fire, which deals high damage over time. This is strength wise, we're talking about 400 damage on this, heat damage per explosion, and explosions occur at a rate of roughly 2 to 4.5 per second, when the effects last up to about 10 seconds in duration. The range can be around 15 meters. So we're talking damage being power strength on this, duration, obviously duration, radius is affected by power range. Explosions will occur directly on enemies as long as they are within that range, and multiple explosions do not occur simultaneously, so just keep that in mind. So this is a really nice one as well. It does have a high casting time, so just keep that in mind when you're putting the build together. This particular one has a 2.2 second casting time. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into how I've currently got this thing built and how I'm running it. Alright, so I've got Ember Prime here. Note that I am using the Arcane Phoenix helmet, so I've got the reduced shields with a little energy capacity boost, which is why you see is slightly different than maybe you would normally see in things. So I've got the 487 power and a 703 shield. We could offset that if we're just using the regular, but here's what we've got set up on her. So, Energy Siphon, of course, for me. Blind Rage for the power strength. Okay. Of course, we got Fleeting Expertise and Streamline to offset that to keep me at a 50% efficiency. And Flow to get my max power out of her. Redirection, Vitality are now maxed, so I can get the most out of her as well. She's still a little squishy, but what we're doing here is we're using a narrow-minded at 81% duration, and we're taking down the range, so you're going to have to be in the thick of things. And with doing that, when you're in the thick of things, I'm going to add natural talent to get her casting speed up because her casts are pretty slow. So this is how I'm going to run it. Now, I'm not going to say that you won't die. We're double forma. Sorry about that. Not going to say that you won't die in this process. But if you are a very aggressive player, as I am, and you like to be in the thick of things, this should work out pretty well for you. And also based off of, you know, what weapons and whatnot that you're bringing along with you. So, if you have any questions or comments about this build, please do feel free to leave them below. If you have a different build, different setup, as always, please feel free to leave that below and explain why you set yours up the way you did so others can also see different options that are available. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.